Hello, this is Pam from Elvis Fan Forever, and what I'm doing, I'm making a video, and I just want to clarify and offer an explanation and an apology if I hurt some people's feelings or if I stepped on toes. That was not my intention. I want to explain some things. Okay, first of all, I do like, as I said many times, and I will clarify this again, I do like Spa Guy's videos. I do like Billy Smith and Billy and Joe Smith's videos. I like what's the other one? Memphis Mafia Kid. I like his videos. I like them all. I really do. I was so happy when I found this part of YouTube. Okay, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was exactly up where I want to be. Okay, because I've been searching around for something where I felt, yeah, this is mine. I enjoy it. Excuse, I have cats and dogs, and I'm just like a menagerie here. But anyways, I made that video about the Spa Guy. And the only reason I made that video, the rest was just foolishness. But the reason I did make that video was I really did not appreciate him advising people not to go to Graceland. You know, businesses now are struggling. I imagine even Graceland, the visitations, is struggling because, things cost more and people just don't have that kind of money anymore. And people, there are a lot of older people, but there are younger people who might just say, you know what, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go to Graceland because it's dangerous. I'm not going there because Spa Guy said it wasn't a good place to go because of danger. You never said it wasn't a good place. You just said it was dangerous. I get it. And, the power of suggestion, when you have a bigger platform, it is great. And people, word of mouth, and maybe your mouth only gets people, maybe 1,000, 2,000 people hear it, but they pass it on. And then before long, Graceland would be shuttered, and then it would just be another dead urban city. Now, again, I don't want to see that. I live in a city, I live right next to Gary, Indiana. I used to live in Gary, Indiana, and there's nothing going on there, but I go there. And I know the crime's probably higher in Gary than it is in Memphis. You don't hang out in the streets in the neighborhoods that probably don't have anything to pertain with Elvis. Most people who go to Memphis for Elvis Week are there just for Elvis Week. They're there to visit the things like you said, Vernon's house, or all these things, which are highly protected by police. I bet you can't do anything in Graceland without a police being not too far away. And places like that are always very well guarded. And I'm not saying nothing can happen. Something can happen anywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you should be on your, alert to what's going on around you. I do understand that things happen to you, and I am sorry. But in my impression that you gave, and maybe it was just me, maybe I am slow, maybe I didn't understand, but initially, and I did listen to your video twice, initially I thought you were saying all these things happened at one time. I was like, oh my God, what is he with a sign on his back? And then when you mentioned about Black Lives Matter, they wrote on the fence, and I'm like, that happened everywhere. It just didn't happen in Memphis. I mean, it happened everywhere. Chicago, everywhere. People were doing crazy random things. Minneapolis, everywhere. And do I approve? No, of course not. That's civil unrest. I don't approve of that. But you can't down something for somebody. It's something that happened about 3 years ago. And yet you're opening up a business there. I just didn't understand that. And I was taken aback because like I said, you don't know. You have no idea who's listening to your videos. You don't know where their mindset's at. You don't know what's going on in their life. Not everybody can. And I'm not saying I'm poor, because I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, I'm not the richest person in the world. I live comfortably. But I can't get on a plane and fly here and there and everywhere at the blink of an eye. I just can't do that. That's just not my life. But when I want to do something, I have to save for it. Now, Memphis, to me, it's about an 8-hour drive if I drive. And, it costs probably about $300 to fly, $400 now, probably round trip, maybe even more by next year. The tickets there aren't cheap, but people enjoy it. You'll see older people who was in the day when Elvis was alive, and they're going back. And it brings back such wonderful memories. And then to say, well, don't go, and then, older people are afraid. I'm not necessarily afraid because I guess I'm numb to stuff, or things just don't really happen to me. I don't put myself in those situations. I know you probably think, well, I'm naive. No, I don't. I live in an area where, I don't get out at 10 o'clock at night just walking up and down the streets for no reason. There's no reason to. When I go to Memphis, I go to Graceland, I go to the contest, the ETA contest. That's one of my things I do go for because I love that so much. I go to see, I went the crossings. Every time I go there, I go through Graceland again. Even though I've been there several times, it's always, I don't know, it just brings me close to Elvis. I'm around people where I feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with everybody, but there I do. I feel like I should be here. I feel a part of this. And to suggest the people don't go. Okay, maybe the better word would have been, when you go, be careful. But to suggest don't go means everything that has happened to you potentially can happen to anybody. And it's true, it could happen to anybody. Nobody is excluded from getting something bad happening to them. But it can happen in your own city, at your own park. It could happen anywhere. So don't think, unless you're never going to go out, just like when, we hear all kind of crazy crimes that you wouldn't even expect happen in areas, but they do. I live close to Chicago when they were doing the rioting for Black Lives Matter. It was crazy. It was chaos here. It was. But I'm not going to board myself up in my house and not go out. Like I said, I think the better word would have been be careful. And to be honest with you, what happened to you, like with the dojo, which I'm sorry, that was a bad thing that happened, but it was a personal thing. It had nothing to do with the people of Memphis. It had to do with one person, or maybe 5, I don't know. But it had nothing to do with YouTube. It had nothing to do with Facebook. It had nothing to do with the people of Memphis. It had to do with certain people who you had an argument, a beef with, whatever. And once it was put on YouTube, you were looking for a reaction. You were. If you didn't want a reaction, you wouldn't have put it on YouTube. So as I am a hothead at times, I am an emotional person. And when I see things, I'm like, oh my God, he's saying don't go to Memphis. And my head goes to 1,000 different places. So yeah, I overreacted. But I did not overreact, and I do not take back the part where I said you shouldn't have said that. That I stand by true. Especially when you have a channel and your words can resonate in a lot of people's ears. And not everybody can. Not everybody can afford to move. There are good people in Memphis. There are so many good people in Memphis. There's probably 98% good people, 2% bad. But it's where you live, and you deal with it, and you know where not to go. Again, things can happen anywhere. I'm sure you've gone to Chicago. I'm sure you've been to New York. I'm sure you've been to most places. And crime is everywhere. It really is. You just have to be careful and know your surroundings. And don't go alone in a crowd. And don't venture off the streets. I've been to Las Vegas more times than I can count. And I've gone off the strip, and I won't go off the strip again. I found nothing out there for me. I had no reason to go. When I go somewhere, I stay exactly where I'm going. If now I've never been to Vernon's house, I will do that one time. But by golly, I'll do it in the daytime. If you have that show like you did before, I will do that. And I'll know where I'm going. And when I leave, I'll either leave in an Uber or in a car. I won't walk. I am aware of my surroundings. I'm old enough, and I should be old enough, to know what I'm doing. And here's another thing I'd like to point out to you. Just because this happened, don't stop making your videos. That's your passion. Just like Billy Smith. I mean, I get it's hard. There's a lot of emotions that go on. You are really good at what you do. You're really, really good. Your videos are on point. They're good. I mean, they are really, really good. I could never in my mind do that, what you do. And you have the time and you have the passion to do it. So I wouldn't quit. Just like Billy Smith. He has something that you will never have. And he has something that I could only imagine in my dreams. When he talks about, in my mind, when he talks about his time with Elvis, and okay, maybe he tells the same stories over and over again, like you said, or somebody had said, it doesn't matter, because those are his memories, and he's sharing those with us, and he doesn't have to. I couldn't remember 45 years from today. I couldn't remember that, but he can't. It's etched in his brain. I admire him, because he had that life with Elvis, and it must have been terrible to lose him. Somebody, it was like his brother, it was his life. And I enjoy his videos too. Him and Billy and Joe and Memphis Mafia Kid and what is the other one? Elvis. We Live Elvis or something like that. I love those channels. I do. And I feel so, it's like opening a book. And just like with you, it's like, wow, wealth of information. And why quit doing something like that? The only thing I say, please don't suggest to people not to come. Maybe be careful. I agree. And about the police, the people have not, I mean, I can imagine if this was during Elvis week, the police were really busy. They were probably all in that whole area where Graceland is. When there's a big event going on, that's where they're going to be focused at, right there. And maybe that's why they didn't come. Or maybe it had something to do with personal reasons. But it really had nothing to do with the people of Memphis. And I rarely ever hear of anybody getting hurt at a Graceland event. Look that up. I haven't, but I've never heard of anything happening. Most people there aren't looking for trouble. They're not looking for anything like that. They're going there to honor Elvis Presley, listen to his music, enjoy the food, and whatever else that has to do with Elvis. When I go, and unfortunately, every time I go with somebody, it seems like they have another agenda. But next time I go, I'm going alone. I just want it to be the Elvis week. I want to listen to the music, listen to, go through the museums and see. And take it all in. Because I enjoy it. It's my passion. It's like I can't do anything, but I enjoy it looking at it. I love being around the people who have the same love that I do. And I don't want it taken away. And somebody like you who has perfected his research, you should understand, if you like it so much where you research, then why would you want to suggest people don't go there? You're not going to find anywhere where crime hasn't happened on a personal on a personal front. What happened to you was bad, true, but it had nothing to do with the people of Memphis. It had to do with the people involved. But if I cross the line and saying stuff, I do apologize for that. I don't apologize for saying don't say that, because I realize that there are people who work there who need those jobs. If those doors shut, there'd be more unemployment, and there'd be a lot of sad people. And I think you have a gift for knowledge and research. Expand on it. And if you find that it's so dangerous, do something. You know, you live in Tennessee, don't you? I live in India. There's nothing I can do. But you can talk to the police, go whatever. I don't know, Congress, or not Congress, but, you know, your area, whatever, precinct, or I don't know what Tennessee has. But anyways, that's all I have to say. And I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not. I speak my opinions, but I do rethink everything. And I do think that I was upset what you said, and it kind of like, wow, because I thought you know, in my opinion, you really love Elvis, and Elvis would have never done that. He would never have said don't come. But anyways, you all have a great day, and stay safe, stay cool. It's hot here, and have a great day. Great night. Bye-bye.